Welcome back to another episode of the Stoppage Time.
It's a funeral today.
The mood is very somber. I represent myself, and the two gentlemen besides me represent themselves too. No one collected 3 points.
Major L's.
No one even collected a point.
Hence why we're all wearing some sort of black, and I'm coming in my army uniform because I need to be regimented.
Combat
But
season.
as you know, Soundcloud, Spotify, YouTube, all of the DSPs. Where to start?
We'll start. You know where to start, mate. You know where to start.
I'll be honest, I'm upset
Talk to me. Why? Why are you upset?
because it's not fair. Like it's
What's
one of
not
those
fair?
things where Liverpool are an amazing side. Let's give them their credit.
European
Very good
champions.
side. European champions, la di da di da. But it's one of those games where you come away from it and you think, you know what, we could have taken something away from that game, 100%. 2 set pieces, and away from the result, what I find really disturbing is when Hazard was leaving and whatnot, it was kind of like where your goal's going to come from. Whereas our biggest issue this season has been more so the lack of actual being able to defend, which is kind of like, okay, we thought we had one issue, but it's clear that we actually have another one, which we can't address because ultimately we can't bring in signings. So it means that you have to work with what you've got.
Yeah.
There was an interesting stat today about Azpilicueta and how he's played like almost every single game. He's missed 4 games, which it then makes sense why he's performing how he's performing. He's tired.
Legs are
He's
heavy.
tired.
Yeah.
So
He's not. He's being asked to do a role that he shouldn't be doing at this stage of his career now.
If you think about it, if you look at most players that are within that sort of zone, they will have an understudy who will play at the cup games or play a few games. So it means that your legs are a bit fresher.
RJ's loading, fam.
So hopefully that'll be interesting to see.
RJ's loading.
Soon come.
I said in the one-on-one we did,
Yeah.
I said that Tammy's proven that he can score one-on-one. That he can score
What else
goals.
did you say?
And I said that he will get 2 chances and he must.
No,
take
but
them.
what else did you say?
What
What else
1-1,
did
I
you
said
say?
1-1,
And
yeah.
then
So
what
it was
else
going to
did
be
you
a
say?
1-1 draw.
Two chances,
Who did
he
you
must
say?
take
Did
them.
you say he will score?
Yeah, and he did.
Did
it.
he?
And
Okay.
he did it.
So you got
And
egg on your face, right?
it's not egg.
No, but you got egg on your
No,
face,
it's not
right? No, but it is.
We're going to United.
Listen,
soon.
don't talk.
We're going to United.
Is it not
But
Chelsea
listen,
v Liverpool?
We're talking Chelsea v Liverpool right
It's
now.
not egg.
You went on camera.
I made a shout and the shout
Yeah.
didn't come through.
Exactly.
If you got an egg on your face, that's fine.
It is
but
egg on your
at the
face
end of
because
the
you
day,
said he must score. So I need to know why he didn't score.
This is what
He had
it is.
2 good
go on,
chances.
He had 2 good chances, but this is the difference between, and he will learn.
And you can see Frank Lampard on the sideline as well doing the.
He was Lampard.
Lampard was with him.
Lampard was thinking, yo, I would have buried that.
Lampard
you
was
know,
with him.
you know.
Again, this is where it comes to, when I said what I said, I wasn't being harsh on him, but
Yeah.
in terms of where he wants to be, that is the difference between what's going to take him to being there from being where he is now. And it's interesting because we spoke about Aguero last week, and when City lost, he missed 3 chances. If he buried his 3 chances, they do to Norwich what they did to Watford.
Yeah.
And football's about the small margins, especially when you're playing those positions, especially when you're playing a side that is better than you. You may not get a lot of chances. That chance where he was
That
thrown
one-on-one.
goal, when he was
He
thrown
should have
goal,
scored that one at least, yeah.
When he was
He
thrown
even
goal,
had Mason Mount running. Mason
When he
Mount
was
was
thrown goal.
livid, bro.
When
He
he
could have
was thrown
squared
Could
it.
have squared it, innit? Yeah.
See these England strikers, they don't like to square it, innit?
But
I
I
thought it
think
was just Kane.
I think he's young and ultimately he seems like he's ready to learn. That moment would then decide whether he can go and
I'll tell you,
Like,
one,
he's
one
got-
bright
he's-
spot definitely that for you lot as well was Kante coming back today. I think
100%. I think
Like,
if Kante's not in,
that goal was
we-
something else.
He's got
Like,
to take that
but
chance,
you
though,
owe me
man.
an apology. 'cause
Listen,
told
I
you
ain't
the
even
guy
gonna
can
lie
play.
to you.
I told
Listen,
you he can
my
play.
brother, I'm sorry, he can play
He
ball.
can play.
He can play ball.
Who can play ball?
Kante.
Oh,
Because I always just used to say like his best role is to just sit back, clap, move the ball on. Don't
The
try
issue
to be
with it is
funny
that
and
he
with
looks
it.
unorthodox.
Last season he showed sort of
Yeah,
glimpses
yeah.
of it.
Remember when he scored against United at the
Yeah,
bridge? It looks unorthodox.
But if you
It's
look at
not-
the replay as well, it looks like everyone's just like, he's probably going to give the boys. And then
Yeah,
he just
but
hits it out
thing
of
is,
nowhere.
it's the way he
Hold
moves
on.
it, it's not easy on the eye. It's a bit
Yeah.
like, bro, what's he doing? Like, I'm a bit confused. But
The way he runs is
But in them type of big games, as you said, like the thing is, look, Liverpool were there for the taking today because they scored 2 set pieces. Yeah,
Literally.
they weren't really on
They
it.
didn't
Mane didn't have a
create-
great game. Salah didn't have a great game. They didn't really have a great game at all. And to be honest, if you can say anything about Liverpool this season, they look a little bit more vulnerable. You know what I mean? So credit to
Yeah.
Abraham, credit to Lamps and that whatever for
It was a valiant effort.
putting
It's an
something onto
effort.
Chelsea, onto Liverpool. But in the day, in a chance like that, you've got to take it, because if it was Wolves away today, he would have scored. So in these big moments, that's where you need quality. And this is why I said he's not the standard for Chelsea at this point in time. Because at Man United, he had chances as well. He didn't take it. Liverpool, he had chances. He did not take it. These are the games that top strikers are going to get judged on. And we can talk about how much Lampard's doing well, because he is doing a good job. And Chelsea did trouble Liverpool. But Lampard hasn't won at Stamford Bridge this season.
That is,
That's poor.
Was it
That's
drawn
poor.
to and then lost to?
And one of them is Sheffield United. That's poor, and that's something that needs addressing. You can't sugarcoat it. Lampard's doing well in terms of the play and all that type of stuff. The youth. Tomori's coming. He looks pretty decent, to be honest. I thought he wasn't going to make the jump from the Championship to the Premier.
He looks like he's adapting.
He looks good, but no home win. That's going to create a little. Like, I don't know what the word is, but
even though play at home, you're gonna think, can we get a win
exactly
today? And what the main thing of what you're trying to get to is, it's quite interesting because it goes to all of our teams actually. There's a difference between playing well and getting what you need, and then just playing when everyone's feeling good.
Like a maybe, you're like a maybe team right now.
Like, we all support teams that winning is important. You have to win, and that's why today's defeat feels a bit like it's got a sour taste to it. Because was it a good performance? Yes, but Chelsea, in terms of a team, were more than just big performances. That sort of talk is for your talks of like your Evertons or your Norwiches or those teams. It's kind of like we put a good performance. Good performance is not enough, and that's why I hope that even the situation that Chelsea have got with these young players, they need to start realizing that, you know what, cool, we can put good performances, but we need to be that difference. Timmy needs to think that, you know, the next time I get in this position, I have to bury it, because I've played against two of our rivals now, and I've had chances, and fair enough, I've made the chance, but I've not converted. That is the difference between what Chelsea had with Diego Costa.
They need to develop that mindset, like City, almost like Pep was saying, like his players are disappointed for almost a week after defeats like that. Like 100%. That is a game that was for the taking and at home. Like the players should take it hard, and
I mean, if you
come up again,
BBD looking a little bit, not looking as supreme as he was last season.
I think
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
I think
he is
as normal.
No,
I don't think he is.
I think Liverpool, Liverpool's right back, they were trying to exploit, and Matip as well. I think it was always a long ball available, but I don't think it was through Van Dijk.
This long ball wasn't going through like that last season.
But
I'm seeing Liverpool's kind of scampering about now.
The line looks higher this year. I don't know what it is. And for me, Trent is, as usual, bombing on. So it's always leaving gaps. And I don't know.
Prime example. So
not his goal, though.
Yeah, really good.
Listen,
really
his goal.
That was. I said
anything that people say he doesn't have in defending, he has in abundance going forward. But at the end of the day,
we said it last season though. He might be better off moving into midfield.
He played in midfield in the youth team,
but again,
that's where he grew up playing.
Again, with Wan-Bissaka played wing and then he went fullback, and you can see why he would have to go fullback because of the tackles and whatnot.
No, not because of the tackles, because on the ball he's something else. On the ball,
with Trent,
it's a funny show.
Defensively though, he is
Trent,
solid.
Going into centre mid with Liverpool, you would almost have to look at it and be like, okay, in terms of what he would bring there, what would they then have to take away?
Because Liverpool Wijnaldum.
Nah, because
take out Gini Wijnaldum and put Trent there. You're getting the same thing, but better.
What Trent is
getting more tech.
That's a big shout, you know.
Listen, I'd rather gamble on Trent. Maybe a little bit of defensive lapse with what he offers from right back. Moving him away from there. No one is going to be able to put
it's
in
working
quality.
right now.
Okay, if they moved him in midfield and they put like Joe Gomez,
it doesn't offer the same threat.
All of a sudden, Liverpool.
What are you going to bring Clan back?
And where are we going to
got a broken leg or something?
Where are you going to play Trent? Are you going to play Trent centre mid, or are you going to play him in Fabinho's? Like, you can't. Now we're going to start saying Trent go and get bare goals and shit.
That is true.
I think he wants to get more goals, but I mean, fair play to Liverpool. They came in. I mean, before that game, it was 1 away win in 12 against the Big Six.
Oh yeah, they said that in the
so it's not
press conference.
Chelsea have failed their 2 big tests this season.
What's that? United,
Liverpool, and even their first Champions League game. They're big games you've lost.
What I would say is, if you look at Chelsea, what is, again, and this is what I didn't want, what is masking a lot of this stuff is people always, no matter when something happens, people always going to go back to the fact and say that, well, they've got young players and Lampard can't sign anyone. But it goes back to what I said. Chelsea are supposed to be a big club. Therefore, we're supposed, whether you've got this or that, you expect a certain level of standard.
Yeah.
when we made a substitution against Valencia, we conceded straight away. Something happens, they conceded from set pieces. A team like that shouldn't be conceded set pieces. We shouldn't be drawing 2-2 with Sheffield. We shouldn't be conceding 2 goals to Wolves. And it's like, okay, it's clear that we have issues. Until we sort out, and you're gonna mention Kepa.
Kepa's got DDG syndrome, you know. They just like to stay on their line.
I'm glad you mentioned it because ultimately,
wet keepers, man.
You said it. I think
wet keepers.
I think you said it about DG for his shot stopping ability, which is amazing. There seems to be inefficiencies in other areas of his game.
Kepa, though.
And
Kepa is the same
is a great
thing.
Shot stopper.
With Firmino's goal, with his header, I think if that was
command
Edison,
the box and
Edison
come out.
batters that
straight away.
100%,
Or
100%.
how's man heading it in your six? Basically, in your six. Who'd I say? Oh, sorry, Firmino. When he scored the header, like he's scoring it in your nearly in your 6-yard box.
You're right.
Keeper,
You're right.
Keepers
man.
used to take man's head out back in the day,
You know what
bro.
I mean? Look what Alisson did. You see when not Alisson, you see Adrian. You see Adrian today, when he came out and caught the ball and he just had his knee in the air. He didn't care.
Who did he take out? Yeah, he took someone out. Yeah.
That's the type of stuff that I want to see.
Do you remember when Edison clotted Mane?
Was this last season?
Yeah.
As a goalkeeper, I suppose.
No. Mane clattered him.
No, but he went. But I'm saying he went for it.
Goalkeeper
stay in your line. Goalkeeper stay in your line. It's one of those things where Chelsea do need to address this kind of defensive inefficiency if we're gonna move forward. We have to. I have no doubt that Tammy Abraham will be able to score goals and hopefully he will learn. He looks like he wants to learn.
You lot miss Rudiger big time as well.
But Rudiger is
I'm not saying Rudiger's world class.
Are you talking about organisation?
Did Rudiger play in the midweek?
Yeah, he was actually.
He didn't play.
Didn't he come back?
Champions League.
Okay. I know he came back recently. Yeah.
Rudiger's
the Valencia goal.
Kepa should have saved as well. Yeah.
It came over what near post.
Yeah. Tammy sleeping.
It was a mixture of people.
Yeah,
but I mean, let's see where the season goes with that. But disappointing to lose. Fair play to Liverpool. 5 points out of City.
I mean, that's Liverpool.
The race begins.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be.
But tell you
chasing them all season.
Om's mentioned something which was really important, and I hope all Liverpool fans pay attention to this. Last season there was 7 points ahead, right? And we were saying here that Guardiola doesn't usually have to chase, right?
Yeah.
They were 7 points ahead. They let it slip. This time they've started earlier and they've gone 5. There's no excuses. I think Guardiola's hungry for it, but if you've gone 5 this early,
I think Guardiola, like, I know what you're saying. I think Guardiola, like, when you look at the chats that he's been having, like, since they lost that game, he keeps saying, you know my team, like, you know us.
He's like, you know what we do.
And I think he's kind of creating a little thing as in, like, no matter what happens, stop trying to put pressure on us. Like, we're bosses. You know what I mean? And I think that creates a thing as in, even if Liverpool City don't win the league, it's kind of like, we dominated the last 2 years. We'll just go again next year. I think he's creating that little bit of, because they're behind. That's what I think.
How many games in? 6 games now?
6 games in.
That's happening already. My thing is,
if they miss out on the title, I want to see them go for the Champions League, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they must go
City.
Yeah.
No, I think in general,
we've got to start expecting at some point for them to be.
I agree with what you're saying.
Big time Champions League contenders.
I agree with what you're saying.
For how they've dominated in recent years as well. We keep saying like they're arguably
one of the best team in Europe,
the world.
No, you're right.
But I think they have to compete on multiple fronts. I don't think it's just kind of one or the other.
No.
They've done the domestic treble.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, the European pressure now needs to start being applied.
But I'm saying that they can't just let one.
Of course.
It has to be.
Pep will never allow that.
Nah,
never.
100%.
He's too much of a nutter. He's too much of a nutter.
But I mean, it is what it is. Leicester and Spurs. All right then. Okay. So do you want me to lead with the headline, or do you want to leave the headline?
Listen, I don't need to speak. I don't need to speak right now. I'll leave that to you two.
Tottenham are without a win in their last 9 away games in the Premier League. You have failed to win 3 consecutive away Premier League games when you've led at half time.
Let's be real. That's most Premier League teams right now. I think every team is struggling.
No. Yeah, but let's speak about Spurs. Let's be real.
That's almost every team right now.
I mean, because I've got.
Read out your stat sheet.
No. Those are the stats that I saw that were a bit somehow.
Okay.
There was something else I wanted. I'll let Cam go, but I want to speak about Pochettino, but I don't want to speak now.
Okay.
But there's
Should we address the game first?
Let's address the
Yeah,
game.
you can address the game.
VAR. Are we ever gonna?
No, but what?
Is that what you're leading me?
Wait, hold
I'm
on,
leading
hold
with
on.
VAR.
Are the biggest-
Please hold on a sec. Go on.
Go.
Because I know what you're about to say. The biggest beneficiaries
the
from
biggest
VAR. 100%. And let me tell you something. Every benefit we've had has been 100% accurate.
And so is this one, mate.
You're telling me
can I say
that
something?
was
Yo.
100% definitive accurate.
Okay, cool. Can I say one?
Can
thing,
I say one thing?
Can I let me go
Go on.
quickly? You know, in my whole thing about Liverpool, I did not mention our VAR decision
Bro.
once.
Let me tell you
I
something.
didn't mention it once.
Hey, listen,
You know why?
listen.
Because your thing was a clear offside.
Wait, listen.
It was
Sun's
the same
one was
thing.
not a clear offside.
It was
I'm
the
sorry.
same thing.
Don't do that.
Do you remember?
No,
no.
That was not
Can we
a
rewind?
clear offside.
Can
That
we
would have been
rewind?
2-0.
Let's rewind
Was it
all the way back to
May?
April.
Is it April?
Yeah?
April.
When this Raheem Sterling situation happened. When
Was he
scored-
offside?
Hold on.
Yes, he
Can you
was.
let me finish?
But no, your
Listen,
argument is
And
irrelevant.
then
It's
this
irrelevant.
brother came on camera and said, facts are
Thank you,
facts.
yeah. And he said,
Facts are facts.
and he, and no, and he
Facts are
said,
facts.
thank you.
He
VAR."
said, yeah, facts are facts. So,
Bro, that's facts. Listen, we
Spurs,
actually
yes.
benefited from it in the first
the
half.
Laporte won this season
Did
as
we
well.
not benefit in the first half? They had a goal disallowed. I understand
So
VAR
facts are
when
facts,
it's
my bro.
100% fact, but that's someone.
That's 100%.
There is no way you
Okay,
can say.
why is
They-
it not accurate? Tell me why.
Was that a definitive
It's
offside?
definitive, bro.
So
see his
you
shoulder?
man
You
could
see his
tell
shoulder?
me-
You
If
see
they didn't
his
give you
shoulder?
the little lines
so
and that,
you see his
you
shoulder?
can tell me. You can look at that picture and say that's offside.
Let me address.
No.
why you're wrong.
Let me
answer
answer the question.
Let me address why you're
Answer
wrong.
it. Answer the
Let
question.
me
It's
address why you're
happened
wrong.
again. It's happened again.
VAR.
It's happened. Bro, Spurs fans have been singing it like it's your
Bro,
anthem.
listen,
Let me
it
address-
has been.
let
me
Our
address-
best
now
summer
look-
signing.
Let
But
me address why you're wrong.
that was not a factual
So-
one.
You are talking about VAR, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your issue is actually with the offside rule.
Nah,
Because the VAR simply showed it was offside.
it wasn't offside, bro. He was
Facts
on
are facts.
side.
Facts are facts.
Listen, am I wrong in saying, yeah, if that goal went in 2-0, the game is done?
No, because you man are pants, as we've seen in the last away games.
Because when that goal gets disallowed, momentum completely changes. They score a scruffy goal down the other end. And then what?
Excuses,
Madison,
man.
bad boy goal.
Listen,
you haven't
why
told
are
us about
we
the game.
angry at the system? We can't be angry at the system.
What did
do you mean?
Jose say?
Why are we
What do you mean?
angry
No
at the
one's
system?
angry at the
What was it?
system.
Jose,
We're
what did
angry at the
Jose
system.
said?
Let's be angry at
Any
Spurs.
man that is angry at CCTV
It's thieves.
is a thief.
Exactly.
That's what
fam.
you are.
No,
why are you
exactly.
ang-
No way.
Why are you?
No
wait,
way.
listen,
There
you,
is no
you
way
played
you
a
man are
match for
gonna
90
tell me.
minutes,
Yeah.
and you've come here on your own platform to talk about a camera.
Are you telling me VAR doesn't impact the game?
No, I'm just.
Is that
But
what
it
you
was
man
a
are
correct
telling me right
decision.
now?
It was correct.
You man are telling me that was a correct
It was
decision.
Tell
correct.
us about the game. We're going around.
Please tell me if that was a correct
It was
decision.
correct.
Because you man are full of shit.
Tell
right
us in
now.
the comments. But address the game.
All right, adjust the game. All right, VAR. All right, you say that VAR.
Then we've got
okay.
our substitute keeper. We've got our best keeper out as well. Let's not get that mistaken.
But he's
And then
been
Poch
dog.
playing these.
Was Gazaniga at fault for any of the goals? You reckon?
To be honest, nah.
why did you
first
mention
one
him?
First one he could have done better because he done how many errors was he doing? How many misplaced passes? Bro, that ain't gonna fill your defensive confidence. You see what I'm saying? But then even
What
the
have you got in your
formation
notes?
Poch
Stick to your
started. Don't worry about my notes. I'm telling you about the game. Are you listening or are you just waffling?
No.
Listen, bro.
You see,
Listen.
just you're not saying
Let him get
anything.
into it, let him
Go
get
on.
into
Talk about again. Go.
So the formation Poch started with, the diamond. Like, why? I mean, every week it's a system change. He needs to pick a settled midfield at the end of the day. I mean, we've had... Why Sissoko was starting? What impact did he give? Got booked within the first 10 minutes. Hear me out. And then you've got Son playing up front. And
He
I
played
said
right back.
multiple times, Son's best position is not up front. It is not up front playing next to Harry Kane. It is when he's out wide cutting in.
That's the key point. Playing
What do you
next
mean?
to Harry Kane.
What are you
Playing
going to
next
say?
Harry
We
Kane.
should
If it
drop
was
Harry
up-
Kane.
I'm just saying, if he was
Are you
up front
back
on
with
his
this
own,
boring
we've
Harry
seen
Kane
Tottenham's
agenda?
results when Son is up
So
front.
go
on
on
his
your
own.
little
That's
Harry
what-
Kane rant.
No,
No.
Today- you know
You're not finished
The
again.
moment
Go.
is yours.
No,
You man
go,
have
go.
interrupted enough times.
Go,
The
go.
moment is
Today,
yours.
I'm not talking about
My
Harry
notes
Kane.
are done.
I'm not talking about Kane today. I'm not talking about Kane. You can finish, bro.
I finished. That was all I had to
Is
say.
that what you had to say
That
about
was
the
it.
game?
Yeah.
Cool.
Why are the Spurs fans mad, fam? Why
Can I
are
ask
they
you-
mad?
can I ask you a
Why are they
question?
mad?
Talk.
So
Why are they
last
mad?
week,
Why are they
last
mad?
week-
This is nonsense, bro.
last
Go
week
on.
was it last week we spoke about managers?
Bro, I'm not speaking on Kane, fam.
No,
I'm
no,
not a
no.
repetitive
Talk
guy.
on the game.
No,
That's
I'm
all
not a
I'm
repetitive
asking.
guy.
I'm the only one that's been
Can I-
talking on
can
the
I
game,
go?
and you man are just cutting me up every 2 minutes.
Go
You
on.
Talk
So
on the
say-
game and let's
can I-
move
am I-
on.
can I
All right,
go?
let's talk. Let's talk.
Cool.
No,
So-
you talk on the game.
Cool. Was it last week we spoke about managers and the rankings and whatnot? And you made a point that you said that if ever the time it came for Jose, you'd take opening arms.
If Poch left.
If Poch left.
Yeah. Do you miss that part?
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. If Poch left,
yeah,
you would open your arms. What if, would you take Jose now? Would you take him right now?
Why?
No, I just want to ask, would you take him right now?
That's not a situation that even, why are we creating hypothetical situations?
No, I'm asking a question. Would you take him right now?
No, I've got Poch.
Okay.
Why?
All right, let's get into nitty
so
gritty.
I
don't get how did that relate to the game?
Cool, what the hell was that? Let's talk. So you said that if ever the day he comes, he leaves, right? And it just seems weird now because he said that this is the did he say this month it's the worst squad?
No, not the worst. He said it's not the best.
It's not
the
best
team he's had during his period. Yeah,
but he's just made signings which seemed a bit odd. After the Champions League, he said he may have left if he won the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's just something feels off. Something feels off at Spurs. I can't put my finger on it. Something just feels weird. The manager is saying that he would have left. He's saying that even though he's spent, it's not the best squad. You've been saying that you've been critical on his formation and personnel decisions.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems weird. Why? What is going on with your club? I can't put my finger on it. Maybe because I'm not a fan.
What is going on?
It just seems weird. It's like,
all right, listen.
Why is this guy not being able to? This is someone that's been there for how long, right?
Yeah.
How long's Poch been there for?
Like, this is his 5th year now.
But we're seeing personal changes all the time. You're saying that you're not happy with the stuff that he does.
No, it's not even what personnel changes.
In terms of the formation, you just said that what we can't this
formation. He's constantly chopping and changing the midfield this season, especially. Every game has been a different midfield. Midweek, like Dele Alli had come back, Son was starting, Ericsson was starting. Why not play them again? And I understand if it's like a full 90 minutes they played in midweek or whatever, but Mora should have at least got more minutes. He waited till the last 15 minutes when the game was 2-1 down already to bring on the game changers.
I don't think his handling of Mora is that good.
Like his handling of Mora has been awful.
He done the same thing in Champions League.
But even with Poch, like what's the issue with Poch then? Like I don't see anything wrong that Poch has done because the thing I noticed with Spurs, it's even with Kane and Poch, it's when we're doing well, it's they've got to leave and go to a bigger club and they're better. And then when he's doing rubbish, it's like, oh, his Poch's time is up at Spurs. It's like, bro, he's done the best for Spurs anyone ever has as a Spurs manager at the end of the day. Like in the last 4 or 5 years or whatever, on minimal spending budget or whatever. Like to say, do I want another manager? It don't make sense.
So what do you reckon is the issue with this spell then? Because this spell has been going on.
I'm not even
forget this spell because I'm not gonna take results from last season.
All right, look, listen. When I said to people that Spurs are having a crisis, remember I said it. You laughed at me.
I'm still laughing.
All right, cool, whatever. You laughed at me.
Are you gonna bring results from last season?
Everything down.
Are you gonna bring results from last season though?
Spurs, have had one away win since January. Yeah. And that was against Fulham.
Okay.
And even against Fulham, that was a 93rd minute winner by Harry Winks, Scrapped it, So clearly there's something going on there. In terms of form, Spurs, we already know about their form. Spurs have won, 5 wins in your last 20 games in all competitions. So that's shocking.
Spurs have won what?
5 games in your last 20.
Okay.
In all competitions. So what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20.
But is this going back to last season again?
Of course it is, because this is where the issue started.
But this is a new season.
Oh, and you've only won 2 games this season.
That's fine. But where are we in the table?
I'm telling you about
where are we in the table?
Started,
is our targets were top 4 and we're still on route.
Bro, you can be defensive, but you can't fight the facts.
I'm just telling you the facts of it.
All right, cool. Let me finish with my facts. Because you can be defensive much as you want, but he's on a 20% win record at the moment in his last 20 games. January. As I said, you have no. In all competitions, you have not won. You've won 5 games in your last 20. Is that good enough? No, it's not. Thanks. One away win. As I said, one away win since January. So that's poor. And this is Spurs are the one team who their trajectory is meant to be the one that's going up. We know United's is going down, Arsenal's is going down. Spurs is the one that's like, we're always rising. Spurs are doing a great job. Poch is doing a great job. And I already knew why I anticipated, because when I speak to Spurs fans, they always build this excuse of, oh, we're going to a new stadium, blah, 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 blah. Then they start talking about, remember Arsenal at the Emirates, blah, blah, blah. No. So now what is beautiful is that Arsenal got to the Champions League final the season before they went to the Emirates, right? So did Tottenham. They got to the Champions League final, and Arsenal completely fell off after that. Arsenal completely fell off. Arsenal completely fell off just the same way. He's so vexed today,
Bro, you man
Why
are
is he
just
so vexed today?
You man are
Bro,
starting this with let's talk about the game, and
No,
you man have not
you
said
know-
2 words on the game.
Bro, I don't give a
You
crap
man,
about
you've
the game.
talked about some
your opinion.
Tottenham
I don't
crisis
care about
that's
the game.
going on.
You are
You've
for a
talked about
crisis.
Poch for 5 minutes.
This is why
None
I
of
like
this
to
has
see.
anything
This
to
is
do
why I
with
like
the
to see.
game.
You know when they don't want you to finish, that means their head's hot.
Bro,
That's why I like to see.
You're
Let
not
me-
talking
bro,
anything
can
related
you
to
let
the
me finish?
topic.
Bro, I don't care.
You're
about,
not on topic.
My bro, I don't care about Leicester. I don't care about Leicester. I care
So
about.
what do you?
I care
what,
about the
a crisis that
you
you're
lot are
making
going
up.
through. I'm making up 5 wins in 20.
Listen, that's the facts of it.
This guy's
but you're
gone
going
crazy.
back 20
And
games
listen,
into
I
last
didn't
season.
even want me to
20
finish.
games into last season.
You started the season with 2 wins. You're trying
And
to.
how many
you're
games
trying to be
into the
obtuse.
season?
You're trying to be
How many
obtuse,
games
my
into the
bro.
season?
You're trying to be
How many
obtuse.
games into
You're
the
just being
season?
obtuse.
How many
And this
games?
is what I like to see because you're being obtuse.
6 games into the season, that's where we are.
This
6
guy's
games
being
into the
obtuse. He's
season.
being hard-headed today.
Can I
You're
ask
being
a-
hard-headed.
can I
I'm
ask you a
not.
quick
You're
question?
being
Hey,
hard-headed.
I'm just.
Can
You're
I
being
ask-
hard-headed.
can I
I'm
ask
just
you a very quick
addressing.
question?
You're being
I'm
hard-headed.
just addressing.
Can I ask you a
Alright,
very
say
quick
no more.
question? Last season, right? It was 13 games you lost in the league, right? And you said that was
12.
disgusting.
Of
Was it
course.
12 or 13?
I think it was 12.
Well, it was bad, our loss record, yeah.
Bro.
But that's because we weren't drawing.
Bro, you guys are in a crisis. And if you... I'm not
That's
gonna...
fine.
Listen.
If that's what
I
you think,
don't-
that's
listen,
fine.
If you don't want me to bring this
But
stats,
now
because
talk
he's
about the
tired. He
game.
doesn't want to hear
Now
about
talk about the game.
Bro, I said I'm not talking about Leicester v Leicester v Tottenham. I'm talking about Poch. I'm talking about Spurs in your whole form. This is what we say. Is the question not, are Spurs in a crisis? So why is he trying to tell
that was
me?
not the question. The question was let's.
Do you want me
review
to bring up the
Leicester-
question?
The Leicester
Do you want
and
me to bring up the
Tottenham
question?
game. But that's fine. Carry
Anyway,
on your crisis talk. Carry on your crisis
anyway,
stats.
I'll get back to that later. Poch has reached the ceiling, and it's a fact. Poch has reached the ceiling. You
The same. Wait. This is the same guy. This is the same guy you said last week was a top 5 manager.
So
Reached the ceiling
How?
at Spurs. You're not making sense, my bro. You're not making sense. Poch has reached the ceiling at Spurs. He
Let
can't
me-
take you. Wait.
go on.
He can't take you.
makes no
he
sense.
can't. All right,
Okay,
listen. This
let
guy.
me interject
I'm
here.
not gonna speak.
Let
I'm
me-
not gonna speak because he's
let me
being hard-headed.
interject
He's
here
being
quickly.
hard-headed today. That's it.
You know, when I was
I'm not gonna.
asking-
No. You're
when
being
I was
hard-headed.
asking-
I'm not gonna speak, my bro.
when I was
I'm not gonna
asking,
speak.
when I was asking you stuff, the reason I was asking is because ultimately, media talk and whatnot, people are saying that Zidane's looking in trouble. That could be a job for Poch there.
Yeah.
If you look at Pochettino, right, I think it was Espanyol first built them up a little bit, built Southampton up, has built Spurs up. But we've had this conversation before where I say that his biggest failure for me was 2015 not going for that League Cup and winning it. The league season, the title season with Leicester where he kind of let it slip in terms of he's not been clinical to win stuff. Would you say that's a harsh
Leicester
criticism?
slip though? Because Leicester took the lead and just ran
Bro,
off.
I don't
But
even know why we're talking about Leicester.
general,
That's
no,
what I
in
mean.
general,
Spurs-
in
Going
general,
back in
no,
time.
but you hear what I'm saying. In general, that could have been a season where he could have done it. That's where I've been critical on him in terms of I don't
what
feel.
should we do with Poch? Like you lot aren't.
Bro,
offering any
listen,
what
this
I'm
is what I'm
saying
trying to
is
get
you lot
to,
are
but
giving
you
me
just
that
keep
problem.
chatting shit. That's it. You just keep chatting shit.
That's where he's
You're
going.
not
guy,
giving
fam.
any answers.
No,
You're
right,
just
all right,
talking
say
about
no more.
crisis
All right, say no
this,
more. All right,
crisis
can I
that,
speak?
crisis
Can I
this,
speak?
crisis
All
that.
right, okay, thank
So
you.
go on, finish the
All right,
crisis.
cool. So
That's
the
where he
only
was
way
getting to.
you're gonna be able to talk about a crisis or an issue is
by
obviously
reviewing the
once you get to
situation.
once it started getting bad. This dummy is trying to act like that's not a situation. Anyway, so let me get back to it. As I said, Poch has reached the ceiling. Spurs are not going to get any better. There's no chance that Poch improves Spurs. That's it. You're done. In terms of getting your trajectory, in terms of going there, it's over.
That's
That's
fine.
all
As
I'm
long
trying to
as- and
say. It's, wait.
Start of the
brother,
season
let
when
me
City
finish.
and Liverpool. I
This
said
guy,
that
fam,
we're
this
not
guy's
going to finish ahead of City and
today,
Liverpool.
bro.
But
Did I
you're
say you're gonna
stating the
finish?
obvious.
Did I say you're gonna
You're
finish ahead of
stating
City?
the obvious. Of course, we're not going to go above third.
All right. Listen.
Like this, how can that be a crisis? Because you don't finish above third.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
a
you're right.
crisis.
You're right.
That's
trajectory. Let's
What
move from Tottenham. Let's
trajectory?
move from Tottenham. Man.
So
This
what
guy's
do
a
you-
baby
so what-
today,
You're
man.
not
You're a
making
baby.
sense. You're
Your
just
head is so
waffling.
hot today.
You're
Your head is so
waffling.
hot. You're
You're
not making sense.
waffling.
Let me
All right,
ask
say
you a
no more,
question
bro.
then.
This guy, fam. I remember if we ever
Who's
have United topics, I'm just gonna chat shit for the whole segment.
Let's
That's
go.
what I'm saying.
'Cause that's
I'm just gonna
next.
chat shit for the whole
Do
segment.
it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Following-
This guy is
for it.
crying like a little
I'm
baby
here
today,
for
man. What
it.
the hell?
I'm
Fam,
here
what's wrong
for
with this
it.
guy,
Following
fam?
this defeat,
Yo.
who's your next fixture again?
I don't know. I ain't checked the fixture list.
So where's the research? Anyway,
Is the
cool.
fixture list not right there?
This is the table, my guy.
Go matches.
Listen. Just go. Just go to the
We
next
got a
topic.
laptop if
Go
we
to
ain't
the next
using it.
topic. Go to the next topic because there's no point speaking about Spurs today.
Do you know what it is? I'll be honest. Cool. Maddison scored a really good goal yesterday. He's a player that me and you actually highlighted
Yeah.
while back when Stoppage Time was in a different format when we said coming up from Championship.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
one that is really good. In terms of players that play in his position, where do you reckon he ranks in the Premier League?
It's difficult because I don't even think there's many number 10s in the Prem.
There's not many pure, but there's people that operate in that
Teams don't
realm
even-
that he does in terms of that kind of creative midfielder.
So then are we including players, I don't know, who can kind of play there? Like, I don't know, Bernardo Silva doesn't play there, but he can play as
I would say I would count a KDB, I would count a Bernardo Silva, I would count Eriksen.
Yeah.
I would count Pogba to a certain extent because for United he plays deeper, but
I haven't seen Pogba play at 10, that's the thing.
I've seen him play.
I hear you, but
not. But in general, he can play.
I wouldn't put Maddison in the same like.
Sigurdsson would count.
Yeah.
Ozil would count. This is one from last season. Yeah, this one from last season. Brooks played there last season for Bournemouth. Where does Maddison rank in the Premier League?
I think he's right up there personally. Like, look, if you're talking about a number 10, we're talking about like kind of like number 10s, attacking centre midfielder. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So the job for them is to create, right?
Yeah.
Last season, Maddison created 100 chances, 2 more than Hazard. And look at the talent that Hazard, look at the player that Hazard is. So 100 chances you created for your team. And the thing is, he's not just smacking in crosses like KDB. He's not smacking in crosses like Trent, because Trent is up there with created chances as well, because obviously crosses is still a chance. He actually slides the ball through. He gets the ball in dangerous positions. Scored 7 goals last season. Assisted 7 times. Created 100 chances. If you're talking about what you want from your attacking midfielder, that's it right there. Silky, you can do. He's cold. Like, I think he's cold, and it's absolute joke that he hasn't played the game for England yet. If he's not, he needs to be a cert for England. That is the type of player that England need. That is the type of player that England need. Like we get gassed off Gascoigne and all these type of jokers. Yeah, but we got Maddison there now. Yeah, we got Maddison there now. Why are you looking at me? We got
Maddison. I was like, whoa.
We got Maddison there now, who we need to start trying to build around and see what we can do with them type of players.
I'll be honest,
that's what I think.
The kid
he's a top player, man.
He's quality, and
definitely.
It's one of those things where if you create 100 chances for your team, imagine creating 100 chances in the City team.
Well, that was the most last year. I always see that stat somewhere.
Yeah.
Most chances created last season.
Imagine if you created 100 chances in the City team.
Bro, he's going to walk away with about 16, 17 assists, bro.
See, but I think it's also, at Leicester, he's in the perfect system. I think he's in a system that caters to him. A team like City, he's got to fit into that. Like, he's not going to get that many chances. He's just going to be another Gundogan who just...
I don't think he's ready for City.
Yeah,
but he's definitely ready for Tottenham, for Chelsea, for Arsenal, for Man United. He's good enough to walk into them teams.
I'll be honest with you, Leicester are already on that way there.
As a team?
As a team, they're on that way there. Like, it could be a sideways step in a year or two. Do you see what I'm saying?
If he comes to United,
that's what I said about Harry Maguire.
If he comes to United,
Harry Maguire was
Leicester are on the way there.
But I mean, when you look at what Bernardo Silva does yesterday, though, you kind of look at him and it's like, this guy's not playing all season.
I mean, it's a system, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone that Pep puts in
has to be able to fit.
Like, no Sterling, that's calm. Bernardo, just get me a hat trick.
Just get me
it's
KDB, just get a couple of assists for me.
It's like with City, it's a system. But in terms of Maddison, I think he's right up there. I mean, we got to put him. Is him and Ali? I think I'd have him better than Ali at the moment. Anyway, Ali doesn't really play
in
that
the Prem. Top 10, he's comfortably in the top 10.
What, top 10 players?
No, are you talking as in top 10? Oh yeah, what?
I mean, just Prem.
Prem players.
Prem, as in Prem creative players.
Of course he's there. Of course he's there. Like, of course he's top 10.
No,
that's what. Of course he's top 10. But okay, let's put it like this.
I'm taking him ahead of Ozil. Easily.
I was about to ask, would you take him above?
Yeah,
Ozil?
right now. Yeah,
you're taking him above Sigurdsson as well, right?
I'm taking him above Sigurdsson. I've seen Sigurdsson get to that. Am I taking him above Eriksen?
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't take him above Eriksen. Eriksen's playing like a joke, man, though. But I wouldn't take him ahead of Eriksen right now.
What does he need to do? Because with Eriksen, you'd probably take like your Bernardo. Would you take Bernardo Silva over Eriksen?
Oh, easily.
Yeah. So cool. So we're saying those guys are there and Eriksen's there.
Yeah.
So what would Maddison have to do to eclipse?
I guess it's just another season. At the end of the day, he came in last season, did well. He started this season quite well. So it's just maybe another season of doing it at consistency.
Yeah,
exactly. And then we can probably start putting him with Eriksen in terms of like Eriksen, because Eriksen's done it for a few years.
Putting in like 3 years of work though, like 3-4 years.
The reason why that's a bold shot is because think about it, Eriksen was being linked with Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because he's not good enough to play for Real Madrid.
I was saying that as well. I don't get why Madrid.
I hear that, but if that's a player that's being linked with Madrid, and we're saying that this guy is close enough to eclipsing this other guy,
I'm not going to say Maddison's going to be linked to Madrid soon.
No, I'm not. No one's
media will probably throw him
no
there.
One's saying that.
And
no
say,
one is saying that.
100 mil bid coming in.
No one is saying that. But it's interesting to see in terms of this is a kid that was playing for Coventry, playing for Norwich, and now he's pipeline.
The climb was sick.
I mean, fair play to him.
Man United needs to be the next step for him, even though we'll probably ruin him.
So you lot can ruin him?
We'll probably ruin him. We probably would ruin him, yeah. But that's the natural progression for him. Hey, listen, he supports us, you know. He's a United fan. He's a United fan, so
I think Jay-Z
and David Beckham is his idol as well.
Jay-Z would tell him not to make that move. Have that little dinner, I'll be like, listen, don't look up into Lukaku when he was there. But boy. City Watford, we were talking about how the defense could be an issue, but
they should be deducted points. Watford should be deducted points for that. 5-0 in 17 minutes. You shouldn't be playing Premier League.
That was worse than their cup final.
The cup final was 6-0, right?
If the cup final was 6-0, which is an embarrassment, but I'll allow them because, you know, that's the big stage. Going to the Etihad and conceding 5, and then Ben Foster going on Match of the Day to talk about, I mean, they're just amazing. No, you guys are crap. Like, you guys are dead. Like, you can't be doing 5-0 and 7. Every single fan that went to that game should be refunded. How dare you go from Watford to Manchester to see 8 goals?
Man said the young
everyone should be refunded their train tickets, their hotel stay if they stayed in Manchester, everything.
Hear what
drinks,
John Elton said.
Who?
Elton John, sorry.
I said John Elton. Disrespecting a legend like that. Disrespecting a legend like that.
The last time I saw 11 men get a fucking like that was in my bedroom.
He never said that, man. He never said that, bro.
Obviously,
oh my word!
Don't do that, bro. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Speaking on quotes,
this guy loves fake quotes, innit? What the hell, bro?
Speaking on quotes, though, you mentioned it at the top of when we started, but what I really enjoyed about this was in the press interview after this, Guardiola essentially said verbatim, I'm probably missing a few words, he said, people are talking about pressure. Have you not seen what my boys have done for the last 2 years? We don't do pressure.
Murder.
And you highlighted it with the Aguero chances. I highlighted it when I said that these guys will try and outscore people. City get goals. Yeah, what was evident for me, though, was I felt sorry for Delafeu, because you see when he's heating up with the centre circle, the one chance he had, the way he walked through the defence was too easy.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact.
it's clear that City are going to concede chances.
Yeah.
It's clear. But when you've got firepower like that, boy,
it can cover it. But for me, I think there will come games when that back line, and especially with the injuries now, that will get exposed.
No, bro,
they will look good in games like this.
He walked through.
It's mad because
8-0 teams and 6-0 teams, but there will be games where they get found out.
And you got to look at it like this, right? They can't afford any more off days per se. They can't afford any more.
No, they can't.
Aguero missing 3 chances. They can't. They cannot.
No.
So you have that one game, and God help you, someone gets a chance against your defense. You're gonna concede.
Yeah.
When he went through 1-on-1, I said, "Wait, hold on. Where was Otto? Was like, what's going on?" I was like, "What's going on?" I was confused.
Yeah.
And the finish was lame.
That was early in the game as well.
It's a really good save.
No, but when you're in there, is that. You see, as soon as I get past Otamendi, like, I'm thinking, right, what? This is me. What, Etihad? No, I've got to bag this. But
it's funny because that 8-0 loss came after they were doing barbershop talks and that. That's when the Watford lot they released the barbershop talk, which was inspirational. I'm not gonna lie, but Mariappa, I mean, Mariappa played it, right? Mariappa was captain. A little visuals come out the day before, and it gets smacked 8.
Man, I've got to focus.
We say what they got delete and then
re-upload. Listen, I imagine if Pogba did something like that, or if a United player, they'll be saying that he's not focused, fam.
True.
I ain't trying to say man ain't focused, but that looks a bit funny. That's bad timing, boy. That's bad timing. And this is what I'm saying. Guys need refunding.
That's Troy Deeney.
That's what I'm saying. Troy Deeney and Andre Gay didn't play. They didn't play at least.
Them are allowed.
So we'll let them off. But Mariappa,
man, need to re-edit the
visual. Copy it. They need to release that international break next time or something, bro.
Yo,
what?
For real.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I swear down. 8-0. But did you see the clinic that Kevin De Bruyne put on? KDB,
you said it
again.
I give praise where it's due. You called it. You said he's probably one of the best crossers of the ball,
bruv.
And as
you
soon
said
as
he started this year, he's going to be PFA. I'm telling you.
As soon as he pings the ball,
I can hear that still. If they don't win the league,
as soon as he touches the ball, defenders just start walking towards the centre box. They know, someone's going to take
Bro,
it.
not even that yet. Do you know what the difference is between KDB and every other midfielder? Is that he just keeps things so simple. He knows if I'm on the right, I'm smacking it in this way. Like his teammates know what he's gonna do before he gets the ball. You see with someone like Pogba, for example, he doesn't know what's gonna happen. When he gets the ball, he starts doing all this. He doesn't know.
It's whatever
he doesn't
comes
know
to
what's
him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's not even got to do with your ability. It's got to do with what's up there.
Football's about brains, though.
It's so simple. Look at if you see the goal, Silva's Aguero's as soon as KDB's facing this way to whip it in. Aguero is pointing. Listen, I want it there.
Gone.
Yeah, I mean, and he just puts it straight to David Silva. Like he keeps the game so simple, and that's why he's levels above everyone. I think he's probably the best midfielder in the world at the moment. So, centre midfielder.
Wait,
how many people are better than him?
Did you say? Who did you say was better when we had that Pogba KDB thing?
He said
As
Pogba.
he
said Pogba.
As a talent.
I said
as
KDB.
a talent. I did not say KDB.
You said Pogba.
I did not say Pogba.
You said Pogba's a better player than KDB.
Oh yeah, of course.
You said Pogba's a better player.
Rewind it. Yeah, I said he's a better talent.
I'm not trying to
No. I said he's a better talent.
I'm just trying to remember because I was like, hold on, we spoke about
a
this.
better player. Of course, a better player. But as a talent, I said it was about 50-50. But Pogba's out. Pogba's better than him. Pogba's better than him as a talent, but not as a player.
What's going on there?
You can be more talented than someone. Doesn't mean you're a better player than them.
Do you reckon Pogba has more talent than KDB?
Yeah. I've said this already. We don't have to draw that back up.
What was? Remember we spoke about the little clip he dropped, a little preview to the season when he said, "I'm coming back." And
The revenge tour.
The revenge tour.
7 assists.
Listen,
7 assists already.
How many games has he got before he equals the record?
He's got 32 games to
Get how many assists?
to get 14 assists to beat Henry. He's already got 7.
That's gonna be
He's got
light.
32 games to do it.
But that's if City keep scoring the way they're scoring.
Will City ever stop?
What kind of
scoring?
question is that? They have to. With that defense, you have to score.
For real. I was gonna say with
Listen,
that defense.
there's no rules,
I don't
bro.
know, man.
Who's on what? But let's go to our final discussion. So, managers are under pressure. Arsenal got a win today. However, if you speak to the fan base, all I hear is, you guys need to address Emery on your platform. We need to speak about him. We don't like what he's doing. This, that. In terms of those managers, so I would say, Oli, with your loss today, Lampard with his precarious situation, and Emery, what do we think is going to happen? Let's try and predict the future.
So what's going to happen? As in, who's going to be the first one to get sacked?
Will any of them get sacked? Nah. What's going to happen?
I don't think any of them should get sacked. To be honest, I think I'm being real. I don't think any of them. I think you look at Lampard. They brought him in. He's got a transfer ban clearly. Like
I'll leave Lampard out of this for now.
Yeah, leave Lampard out.
Personally,
Unai, I think. Nah, I'll be real with you. I think Unai as well. I think Arsenal fans are being very harsh on Unai.
I disagree.
Why? I mean,
I disagree.
What is expected from Unai?
I think
What do they expect?
I
really
think
and truly. What do Arsenal fans expect? Do they expect the title challenge?
Yeah.
Like, because Pepe come in,
No. Do you know what? Do you want to be honest?
Immediately.
Do you know what they expect? From what I'm understanding, they expect things to not be as they were left.
Yeah.
In terms of, we don't expect the same as what we were getting.
To back that. In Emery's had 43 games, I think it's league games, in charge of Arsenal.
Okay.
And he's picked up 78 points. In Wenger's final 43, he picked up 78 points. Obviously Arsenal won today, but up until that point.
That's maybe one thing with Arsenal, I would say,
as of what you had before.
Yeah.
And
maybe,
it's like
maybe they shouldn't have got Wenger, yeah.
They hated what they had before. So to now bring the same and then dodgy formations, stupid personnel, trying to play football that your players can't play. I understand from an Arsenal punter looking at it, it's kind of like, we're getting bumped here.
Nah, bro, because you put all them banners out for a reason.
No, okay, I get that point.
You want to change.
Yeah.
You got your change now, live with it. And
no, but it's not change because it's the same thing.
No, but that's what you wanted. You wanted a change. You didn't know this was coming. Unai has been given money for the first time this summer. Like, give his players time to bread in. Let him have, and I know he's already had a year. The other one is United fans as well. Like, they wanted Mourinho out by any means possible. And I understand Oli had a nice little run and he's dipped since, but he's had, one window? Like, give him time. And he's got a lot of young players as well. Them young players need time to develop as well. Like, you said yourself, things are probably going to get worse before they get better again. Like,
but it's not like I want that to happen.
No. You don't want that to happen, but that's the reality of the situation. You know there's a possibility that you lot are not going to get the Champions League again.
but it's for the better in the long run. Like, you sack Ollie again, you're starting from scratch again. This man is now going to tell you, no, I want experience. I want all these youths out. Then what? Yeah. Like, every time, if we're chopping and changing every season, like Chelsea, for example, last season was saying, we're getting rid of Conte to improve our football. Brought Sarri in within 6 months, the entire club from top to bottom.
I'll go one better. We should have never got rid of Conte.
100%. Like, this is what I'm saying.
If Chelsea ever made a decision that was wrong,
all of these teams now
we should have never
wanted to get their managers out.
We should have
now
never.
It's like, support these guys who are trying to do the right things. Like what Emery's trying to build, what Ollie and Poch trying to build is the right ideas.
Yeah, I agree with that. In terms of with Emery, like, Arsenal fans have got to realise, like, you just got to look at United, for example, in terms of we are the ones that had the long-standing managers. Wenger, I think, obviously, Fergie and Wenger left in completely two different scenarios. Yeah. But at the same time, Arsenal have not fell off a cliff. You know what I mean? They have not fell off a cliff.
No.
I know it may sound silly, like, oh, you were still bad. But listen, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. Let Emery, for me, it's like, let Emery have his time to, as you said, to proper get into this squad. And I feel like I get it, because when you watch Arsenal, Emery does do some weird stuff. He does do some weird things that I can't understand. And traditionally, even though he's won a couple Europa Leagues, he's a bit of a loser. You know what I'm trying to say? Like let's be real. Like, come on, man. He was part of that 6-1. He's had some funny moments. So I get it that Arsenal fans can't look at it with a lot of confidence. But I still think, listen, you haven't fell off completely. You got to Europa League final last season, and look around you. United are not great. Chelsea are not great. Next thing you know, you're in the Champions League with a little bit more money, and you can sign good players. You know what I'm trying to say?
Do you know where?
I think it's too early for Arsenal to be honest.
I wouldn't call it issue with this, but there's something I've looked at and I thought, you know what? With Ole, right? United in a situation now where, because my man's got tonsillitis, right?
Who?
Greenwood.
He should be.
You have no strikers.
Joke thing is that, bro?
You have no strikers because you have no strikers because obviously everyone's injured. Arsenal in a situation where they spent record money on signings, and spent nothing on the defense, which was the issue that everyone highlighted. I'm going to throw someone else into this now. Marcus Silva had a time where he had Listen. I'm talking about managers. In terms of managers, in terms of when Everton lost Lukaku, right? Everyone knew that, okay, we just need goals, right? Next, you know, they've spent loads of money and they've not addressed the one area that they needed to they need to address. And for me, when it comes to managers, that's the one thing that I look about a bit funny. I get what Emery was trying to do with his signings, but it's like the one area everyone knows this. You bring in David Luiz, and then only now you're starting to realize, you know what?
They laughed at us by the way. We got cast for saying that David Luiz only went to Arsenal because he lived local.
2 pens in how many
games?
It's
a joke, man.
2 pens in 4, and in Chelsea, what he gave away
2 in
2013.
Like, when you talk about like Ole, and Ole is completely different to Emery. Yeah, Ole is doing an absolutely shocking job at the. Let's stop sugarcoating, because in the media especially they talking to Gary Neville, they're talking to Rio Ferdinand, 2 guys that played with the brother. Are they really gonna come out and say he should get sacked? What are we expecting Gary Neville and what are we expecting Rio Ferdinand to say when you ask these guys? They're not going to say it. So people are trying to people are trying to say, oh, he's doing it. No, he's lost 10 of his 19 games that he's been manager United.
What, since the PSG?
We have scored. Man United have scored 16 goals in 17 games since he's been in charge. The guy is doing a shocking job. When I said that he's one of the bottom managers in the league, I'm not. You think I'm chatting rubbish? He's an awful manager that needs to. Bro.
Is this not part of the it's going to get worse before it gets better?
Listen, it's going to get worse.
Is this not part of it? Because right now, let's be honest here. Let's be honest right now, because you're not completely like out of the Champions League picture or whatever. Like, you're level on points
with you guys. Yeah, but bro, it's with you guys. but it's like I
know what you're saying, but I think he's cleared out a lot of trash. In comparison, like that's one thing I give him credit for. A lot of them guys who I was Deadwood.
Listen,
he's gotten rid of that.
Okay, it's great getting rid of him, but as I said,
you need replacements.
Now look at him. He looks lost. He's thinking, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? Now everyone's getting injured. You decided to play Rashford for 90 minutes in in the Europa League,
yeah.
which was a bit weird. Now he's got injured. Yeah, you sold Lukaku, you sold Sanchez. Greenwood's talking about tonsillitis. Martial, I don't even know where he's been. Listen, now this perceived clear out has completely backfired.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of players they're not signing. Yeah, you can say all this stuff that this is Manchester United. I've been here. I know this. Listen, mate, the gig is over, mate.
I think
the gig is over.
the injuries, I don't
the gig
think
is over. It is over. He's not... I don't even want... I can go so deep into how bad he's doing. Yeah, it may get worse before it gets better. Brother, this bad?
If he had January now and another summer to spend money and get recruitment, as you're saying, the replacements, because he's gotten rid of a lot of that. And I'm sure you've got a lot of bank.
The thing is...
That's the question.
Listen,
Can he even get the players he wants to get?
That's the interesting.
Can he get the players that Manchester United needs to get?
But if he's given a chance, because he said he's not looking to get the big stars, he's looking to get the Longstaffs and these young English players who... You're a prick. That's who he's trying to get this summer. But no, he's just trying to build a young English core. So whether that be the Maddison, Declan Rice, them type of players.
The thing is, if it's going to be young English core, it has to be the best of the young English, right? Yeah, so it has to be the Maddisons, the Sanchos. Sancho already said, I ain't joining you jokers. Like, you guys, you know, you ain't playing Champions League, I'm not joining you. Like, you have to be trying to get them players. And at the moment, I don't think them players would necessarily want to play for Man United. The thing that Ole, he's always got a disadvantage because Ole hasn't got the track record.
He's not name brand.
He hasn't got a track record. So things have to look like they're going right for people to want to come and join. Which is what happened initially, exactly. But now, it's like, listen, why if I'm... One, I don't even want to talk about how bad Ed Woodward is. But if I was Ed Woodward,
that's the cancer at your club.
If I was Ed Woodward, why in the world would I want to give Ole more money to spend? The guy
because you gave him
is
3-year
awful.
Contract.
And that's the thing. Yeah, it keeps going.
It keeps going. 3-year, like
you're
at
right.
least let him see out one full season.
That's the same with the players.
I want to see at least Ole have one full season.
If Woodward is as consistent as he's been, as I said, Ole should be gone by December.
Wow.
If he's as consistent as he's been, the guy's record is absolutely... It's
pants.
Yeah. Are you guys listening to this record? He's lost 10. He's lost 10 of his 19 games.
It's bad. It's bad.
So then here's the thing though.
Ole, absolutely...
In terms of
if
those
Ole goes, who comes in?
If Ole goes, who comes in?
Because you're talking about appealing to players. Appeal to managers.
Listen, if Ole goes, there's at least 18 managers in the Premier League better than him that could do a better job probably.
But they're not going to come.
All I'm saying. There's at least 18 man.
Chris Wilder.
Chris Wilder's a better manager than Ole. He's a better manager than Ole. He's doing a job.
Goes back to the
He's doing a good job.
As well, though.
What do you mean?
As in, with United, you have to remember the caliber of club that United are.
But things have to be looking good on the pitch. As I'm 100%. Saying, when you look at Manchester United, and if we're just going to quickly touch on this.
It's kind of what is the saving grace for Chelsea at the moment.
In terms of... Because things are looking all right.
Things, like, the results are not there, but you look at it and be like, you know what? If they get a run of results.
And Lampard, if I'm a player, I want to play for Frank Lampard. Yeah. He was one of the greatest midfielders of all time. Yeah. Ole.
Yo, this is changed.
Ole.
No.
Ole.
Give him the contract. Give him a contract.
Winning guy,
give him the contract.
Scored the 92nd minute goal.
Let him sign it today. PSG.
Listen, Ole, he's not global legend.
What you saying? What European?
Ole, he's a club legend. He's a club legend.
He's not
international legend like that.
What are you calling? What Slazenger?
He's
not Nike. He's not.
Nah, for real though. Look at like if Zidane, who's. He's done out. He's done out as well.
He's having.
Yeah. So,
listen,
but at least if I'm like Hazard, if I'm Hazard and Pogba and these, I want to go and play for Zidane and that
legend.
Ole.
And get pumped,
I don't know how many men want to play for Ole. I ain't gonna lie.
James.
Daniel James.
But listen, man, that's another episode. Let us know who you think is gonna get sacked. Let us know your thoughts on VAR because I reckon if out of those three, it will definitely be Ole first. I don't reckon that after Arsenal spent so long that to now give someone money and then be like, no, we're gonna sack him.
No, I actually think if there was one of the three to get sacked, it would be Una.
You reckon?
I reckon Una. I reckon Ole's gonna be given time, man.
No.
They will give Ole time.
For what happened for Spurs job anyway.
For what happened for so long with that's crazy.
Hey.
For what happened for so long with Wenger Arsenal, I don't reckon they'll get rid of Una that quickly. When that's Mugabe things. But listen, let us know. Hit us up, socials, Stoppage Time TV on SoundCloud, Spotify, 360 TV on YouTube, all of that stuff. That's
big
another
babies
one, man.
today. Big babies. Big babies today. That's what I'm saying. But
That's no episode of it, man.